Oh!
Yes!
Oh! What?
Justin!
What? Dude, yeah. Oh. Chug it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Because you know this team don't stop. The Titans don't stop, and neither do you.
Yes!
Woo!
Let's go! Woo! Wow.
Oh, what happened? What did we just watch?
I don't know, man.
Dude.
I do not know.
My heart palpitations
That
are still trying to control themselves.
Ooh, I almost died of a heart attack in the fourth quarter, I believe.
Didn't we all?
Oh, anyways,
Dude,
guys, welcome to Titans Tube. This is going to be our recap podcast of the Titans' incredible overtime win against the Philadelphia Eagles in Nissan Stadium. I can't even talk right now, Justin.
I can't talk or listen. I can't do anything. I'm still trying to process this. Like, dude, like that. I mean, I might be overreacting, but I've been going to Titans games since 1999 when the team first got here. That is like easily top 5, if not top 1, regular season game that I've ever attended in Titans history. It was so exciting. Just the energy in that entire stadium. It was packed with Eagles fans, obviously, so they were cheering hard for their team. It was loud for both sides. But man, what a fight and what a game for both teams. Like, dude, I still can't grasp it.
Dude,
that was one of the best games I've ever seen.
I can't
One of the best
either.
games I've ever been to.
It's funny because we both actually tweeted it right as the game ended. You tweeted something about like that was the best regular season game in Titans history, and I tweeted like the exact same thing at the same time from the same account. So
you know what I'm thinking.
If you ever see that on our Twitter, you know that we are both tweeting without consulting each other sometimes. It's good, good time.
Exactly.
But yeah, what I was going to ask you, since I'm no longer privileged to be at every Titans home game.
That's your fault.
Like I was the last few years. What was the scene like? Were there a lot of Eagles fans from the get-go?
Oh yeah. Oh, there were so many Eagles fans. It looked like at times, like at least in the upper deck, it looked like an entire section was full of Eagles fans. I mean, and you could hear them. You could hear their EAGLES chants. I mean, yeah, they were. I mean, and I'm not knocking them. I mean, they travel well. They love their team. They're obnoxious like that, and they own it, and they love it. But man, it feels so good to turn them back with a loss. But yeah, and I mean the Titans fans. I mean it was packed all the way through overtime. I didn't see anybody leave. The stands were full. So yeah, and everybody was just excited. Pandemonium when that touchdown was caught by Corey Davis at the end. All of the players rushing on the field. I turned around and picked up my girlfriend and almost slammed her into the chair on the ground.
Would have been
I
worth
remembered
it.
that I should be very careful with that. I was just too excited, man.
I mean, it would have been understandable if you had done an action like that.
She would have understood. She would have been cool with it.
Oh yeah, totally. She would have to have been cool with it. That's incredible. I mean, yeah, I saw some videos from some fans who even like filmed the last play as it happened and the stadium erupting. And wow, it just gave me chills.
Strangers high-fiving and hugging and tightening up each other.
Tightening up.
Like, that's what I love. That's my favorite thing about, football and sports in general. It's just like you love strangers in times of excitement and intensity. You feel like you've known each other your whole life, but really you're just cheering for the same sports team. Yeah. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene.
For the boys!
For the boys.
That's we got together. I love when you can get together with strangers and just tighten up. Just get so tightened up. Okay. Anyways, let's get into some of our thoughts on this game. We'll probably just end up talking about the final drive because that's really the only thing I can think of at this moment. But first of all, shout out to our sponsors, Hang10.com. Go use the code TitansTube on their website for some sweet Titans apparel. I believe they're releasing a For the Boys shirt soon. Got to grab one of those. And the Backyard Dog.
Got to get one of those.
Backyard Dog BBQ Sauce. Thank you, guys. And thank you to all of our patrons. Just still in shock here. I don't know where to start, Justin. What'd you think of it? What happened?
So you don't know where to start, so you're just going to throw it to me like I have the answers, and we all know that's not right.
Okay, well, obviously, let's get a breakdown of the game real fast. Okay. We started out hot. I mean, we were kind of dominating, especially on the offensive side of the ball early, but could only put up 3 points. What was happening there?
We were moving the ball, though. I mean, that's the kind of disappointing thing is that we were consistently, getting first downs. Mariota was throwing the ball well. Except, I mean, okay, this will be a small theme of this episode, I think, is the drops. And we did have to deal with some drops that did stop drives early in the game. But, yeah, I mean, we were moving the ball, but being able to only muster 3 points through the entire first half was a little disappointing to see.
Yeah, especially, like you said, with how well we were moving the ball, especially right out of the gate, only coming away with 3 points on the opening drive when we had that big missed opportunity on the pass to Corey Davis. I don't know whether Davis kind of came off on his route a little bit or, I mean, it was obvious Mariota didn't set his feet on the rollout to his left and just led Davis just slightly too much. Could have hit on a big play, possible a touchdown there, and then Jonnu Smith on that 3rd and 7 that would have put us up first and goal. Just bounced right off his chest. Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu's got to pick it up, man. I gotta say it.
Yeah, we'll go.
Like, he's definitely got to turn it around a little bit, at least in the passing game. I mean, I think he's running around and playing with a lot of energy and intensity, and I mean, he's making blocks. He's doing okay, but when we throw him the ball, he's not doing anything when that happens. So
yeah,
definitely have to pick it up in the reception category.
Yeah, you cannot have a pass just drop off your chest on the 3rd and 7 and you play in the National Football League. He did come back later with that drawing that big defensive holding on Malcolm Jennings late in the game. Jenkins, my bad. Malcolm Jenkins. Sorry, I just chugged that beer. But so that was big. But big crucial drop, and then big miscalculation and miscommunication, and just off the mark by Mariota and Davis on that play. Only ending up with 3 points. Another bad thing in the first half, that Mariota interception right before half. What was that? How do we keep on seeing this from Marcus Mariota?
I don't know. And maybe that's just a thing. That's the thing for him. He's going to make one head-scratching throw, maybe 2 every single game, despite him killing it all the other times. Because, like, Mariota, dude, this is one of the best games I think he's had in the NFL. And that's actually saying something because he's had some incredible games so far in his NFL career. But he was so good today. And then to see that one throw at the end of the half where – I don't know who he was throwing it to, but I saw like 3 Eagles jerseys around there, and there was no reason to do that. There was, 30 seconds left in the first half. It's kind of just like a gift of 3 points to him, and I felt like that would come back and bite us, and it kind of did. I mean, the game went to overtime. Points ended up being a little bit hard to come by, obviously, in the first half. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Mariota more than made up for that mistake.
We seemed to dominate the whole first half, only able to put up 3 points on the board, and then we go into half down 10-3, and I'm like, man, I feel like I should be happy with this because we're only down 7. It's a 1-possession game, even though the Eagles are going to start the second half with the ball. But with how we've been playing, with how Mariota's been looking outside of the interception, with how Corey Davis was playing in the first half, and with how easily we're moving the ball with the passing game, I was like, I feel like I should be upset because we should have put more points on the board. We were definitely missing some opportunities.
They had that one play to Jordan Matthews, 56-yard touchdown pass. That was like the only thing I felt like they did. I think that they got some first downs here and there, but eventually our defense forced a punt on all of the other drives except for that one big-time play to Jordan Matthews. And then Mariota's interception gave him those 3 points. So, yeah, I mean, I felt like we did outplay him in that first half, although – we found ourselves down by a touchdown, like you said. Yeah,
so it felt nice only being, still being within 1 possession of the defending Super Bowl champs at halftime, but with how we've been playing, I thought we should have been up, and then maybe up by a lot more. Even the touchdown we gave up to Jordan Matthews, Malcolm Butler, once again, getting burned for a long touchdown. It kind of looked like a miscommunication with him and the safety, but come on, week 4 in the NFL, you guys kind of start getting that communication down. We can't be giving up long touchdown passes like that to their third-string wide receiver, even though Jordan Matthews had a good career.
And Matthews was never like a speedster in the NFL, and he just blew right by both.
Yeah, and then you're right. Their other field goal came just on that Mariota interception right before half. After our defense had gotten a big stop, I thought that was a crucial moment for our defense, stopping them under 2 minutes because I knew they were about to get the ball back, and I thought the momentum was already starting to shift their way. But 2 huge stops by the D to stop him, and then hold him to a field goal after that Mariota interception to only go in the halftime down 7. So big plays by the D in the first half.
Could have easily gone down 14-3, and then we saw right on the onset of the second half, Eagles get the ball. They go right down the field and score a touchdown. So they could have been up 21-3 at that point. But instead, it's a 17-3 game. And that's when the Titans finally start making their move on offense.
A game of momentum shifts. We scored the first 3 points. Philly answers over the next 3 quarters with 17 unanswered. And then the Titans answer right back with 17 unanswered points of their own.
Yep. That is right. And, I mean, yeah, dude, should we just go ahead and say it? The Corey Davis breakout game, finally. We've been waiting on it. It took 1 season and 3-4 games. But still, like, he's finally fully healthy. He was dealing with injuries a lot last year. I felt like every game that he played in for us as a rookie, he flashed. He gave you that flash of potential. Even if it was just that one time, that one play where he flashed, and you're like, okay, this is the guy that we drafted. But he didn't put together several flashes in one game, and that's what we saw today. He was flashing all over the field. 9 catches, 161 yards, and finally getting his first regular season touchdown at the end of the game. It couldn't have come at a better time, for sure.
I mean, I think...
And I can't remember the last time a Titans receiver put up 161 yards at all. So that's huge game for Davis.
Yeah, definitely a huge game. I mean, I think the Titans fans, especially seeing Corey Davis play this year from how he played last year. Like you said, you mentioned he would have like one flash a game last year. I know he had that big game against the Patriots in the divisional round of the playoffs, which was kind of like his coming out party. Definitely his best game.
But the game itself
True.
wasn't close,
I mean, essentially
he played as well as he ever played.
Yeah, but even from the snap of this game, I know he had that miscommunication, or he was off with Mariota on that first long pass, but you could tell when he just looked like a number 1 wide receiver. I mean, he looked like it was almost like I would see him catch the ball and run routes. I'm like, I'm expecting him to have a breakout game this time. He looked poised and ready for the moment, and it showed. I think he was worth that 5th overall pick if he can continue this kind of play. That guy is looking beastly.
Very beastly. I mean, and the other guy, our other young receiver, Taywan Taylor, showed up today. I feel like he dropped maybe a pass or two. He did. There was a play early in the game where Mariota went to him deep, and he had his man kind of beat by maybe like a half step. It was a well-thrown ball, but he couldn't come down with it. I think the ball hit him in the hands, but he was kind of fighting with the defender. You would like to see Taylor win those kind of passes, but I mean, I thought Taywan Taylor played really well too. He made some great plays. The one obviously that sticks out is that 4th and 15 conversion. Yep. I mean, holy cow. How do you convert a 4th and 15? I don't know what the Eagles were doing on defense.
Yeah, I mean, Taywan was wide open, but after all the drops we had seen happen in this game, I'm not expecting him to catch that. But yeah, back to the play you mentioned. I thought it was defensive pass interference for sure. I believe it was Sidney Jones got there early, hits Taywan in the face, but end of the day, the ball still ricochets off Taylor's hands on that long pass. And then later, Marcus threw a beautiful back shoulder throw to him, and Taywan just couldn't corral it. So
and I think that was one that like legitimately just like hit him right in the chest and the hands. It was a little bit low, but you catch that ball 10 times out of 10 if you're an NFL receiver. And because I don't think that pass was deflected. I could be wrong. But yeah, that was an amazing throw, that back shoulder throw. I forgot about that one. Yeah,
because I mean, that stuff, like, I haven't seen Marcus throw those kind of back shoulder balls, honestly, since he came into the league. One, because I don't think Malarkey or Robisky really believed in them or thought we had the receivers to complete them. But I'm glad that LaFleur and Marcus and his receivers kind of are building that chemistry, because that's a lethal play. That's almost a play where your receivers can be covered as best as they can, and you can still complete balls like that. We see it all the time with Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers. So if we can add that into Mariota and our receivers' repertoire, that'll be huge moving forward. So I just like seeing him taking that shot. I would have loved Taywan Taylor to come down with it, but if we can start doing that more and more, I think we're gonna get even more dangerous on offense.
Yeah, I love seeing all the downfield shots that we took. I know you kind of just mentioned it, but yeah, the one that we were talking about with Taywan Taylor, Darius Jennings, man. I mean, good grief, bro. You've got to come down with that ball if you're getting put in the game here, man. But I mean, that was the most perfect deep pass I've ever seen Mariota throw, right on the money. And then he had that one late in the game to Davis as well that Davis came down with. So we saw great downfield passing from Mariota, which is something that we haven't seen a whole lot in his first 4 years in the league. So that was super encouraging.
It was super encouraging to see that, we knew the Eagles came in with the number one rushing defense in the league. Last year, we would have seen this Titans team led by Malarkey and Robisky just pound the ball over and over again. The game probably would have finished at 10-3 as it was at halftime, because we would have never opened up the game and let Marcus Mariota just kind of lead us. I know they did in the playoffs, but that was a different situation. But I think I even saw some people commenting on the difference on social media of how, our run was getting shut down. Dion Lewis, 4 carries for 0 yards. Way to get that rushing average up, bro. Even Derrick Henry, 8 rushes for 24 yards for a 3.0 yard average. Marcus was our leading rusher on the day. But just being able to adapt the game plan to be like, okay, we knew the Eagles' rush defense was good. They're proving it time and time again. What can we do to bypass that? Run some screen plays. Dion Lewis had 9 receptions in the game.
Dude, I was going to say, Lewis was huge for us in this game. 0 catches or 0 yards on 4 rushes. But, dude, he was clutch for us for sure in the passing game.
Yeah,
we needed him. So I thought he
the
played
continued
great.
deep shots from the first possession where we missed Corey Davis on that long one to overtime where we're still trying to hit Darius Jennings, which should have been the walk-off TD right there. If he had caught that in stride, which he should have, I believe he would have easily scored with his speed. But another big drop. And that's kind of been a theme, there was a lot of missed opportunities, the Mariota interception, the drop passes today. And I feel like with this Titans team so far this year, it's like every game, if we were to lose this game or lose last week against the Jags or even lose to Houston a few weeks ago, it's like you can come away with 5 to 7 plays where it's like, oh man, these were missed opportunities. We left points on the board, we left plays out there, yards out there, but somehow we end up getting the win. And I think that was another big factor to this game. Somehow, we left points on the board. We had huge drops. Coming back from that Darius Jennings drop and then still driving all the way down the field to win, that's a huge mental barrier to get over. And I think that just preaches so much to the toughness that Vrabel has instilled in this team. It's like, make the next play. Okay, you didn't make that play. Maybe you had a bad drop or you missed a tackle or you blew an assignment. We'll come back and make the next play.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. That's a huge takeaway, I think, for me, and I'm glad you brought it up. Because after that Darius Jennings drop, I mean, you kind of could feel at the stadium, you could kind of feel the air go out of the stadium and get that feeling of, man, that was it. That was our chance, and we didn't get it done. And I think we were probably going to end up folding, and we've seen the Titans lose this kind of game a lot in the past. But, dude, this team has some serious guts. It's got some serious poise, never say die. The game is as long as we have the ball and we can win it or tie it with a field goal, Mariota's our quarterback, then this game is never out of reach and never over. Incredible poise, especially after that Darius Jennings drop. Because I was one of those, I'm sorry, I can be pessimistic sometimes in the moment where I'm just like, oh, that was it. That we had to have that go our way. But no, Mariota said, sit down, Justin, shut up, and let me go to work. And he led us right down the field, still to score a touchdown.
Didn't lead us right down the field. We still had to overcome 3 fourth-down conversions.
Yeah, it was a struggle. I mean, the Eagles, they're making it tough.
But yeah, that was a huge takeaway for me. I mean, we said that in our preview episode. Across the board, I believe the Eagles have a more talented roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and then with the playmakers they have on offense. Yeah. But you can't measure heart in the NFL. You can measure a heartbeat, but you can't measure the heart. And the boys really brought it, and I think that speaks measures to what Vrabel is bringing to this team, and the foundation. Yeah. We mentioned it last week in the recap, so I don't want to hark on it too much. But and the foundation Malarkey laid with this team, I think that plays into it. But
it's true. Yeah, let's see. I was gonna say Matt LaFleur. Do you feel like that the playbook, I guess so to speak, really opened up more in this game than you ever saw before? I felt like Matt LaFleur was throwing some stuff out there that we had not seen, that maybe he was saving up or something. Because he obviously, the run game was getting shut down, so he put the ball in Mariota's hands, and I saw a lot of different things from the offense. Throwing the ball, Tajay Sharp making plays. We were getting Darius Jennings involved. Obviously, Corey Davis was the focal point of the offense. So I thought this was almost like not only for Corey Davis, but kind of a coming out party for Matt LaFleur in this kind of scheme that we're going to be seeing from him.
Yeah,
now.
It's funny to think about, even through up until I believe we scored our first offensive touchdown in this game with like 2:50 left in the third quarter. Up to that point, we hadn't scored a touchdown in like 26 drives, and everyone had already been praising this LaFleur-led offense. I know we've had the carousel of quarterbacks so far in 3 games and all the injuries we've dealt with, so I wasn't really worried about it, but obviously national media does not give us any kind of credit for our offense. But yeah, I think it was kind of a coming out party, and I know the announcers a lot today on Fox were talking about how Vrabel was praising LaFleur for his play calling in clutch situations the last few weeks, and I think we saw it again. Even on that 4th and 2, on all the 4th down plays, that final drive, it felt like he was making the right play, which was a huge thing in contrast to our 4th down plays the previous years with Robisky and Malarkey. I always thought we ran the complete wrong play when we needed a 4th down conversion. We had Adoree Jackson in there one time. We threw it to like David Fluellen one time on the 4th down. Harry Douglas in the end zone against the Raiders a few years ago on a fourth and goal to win the game. Like, who are we going to? Now LaFleur knows what play to call in those situations and what players to get the ball in the hands of. Dion Lewis on that 4th and 2 to make a play taking us down into the red zone. That is, you can't teach that. That's just some LaFleur magic right there.
Yeah. Well, he taught it to an extent. He taught the players the play that he would like to see.
Yes.
And then they did it. But I know what you mean. I do want to talk about one specific thing, situationally, which I guess I'm kind of talking bad about LaFleur now. But I really, really wanted to see this game wrapped up at the end of the 4th quarter when we had the ball with like 2.5 minutes left. Eagles still had all 3 timeouts. There's like a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, and a first down conversion would have, or a 3rd down conversion would have more or less iced the game. We may have still needed one more first down, but the Eagles would have gotten with hardly any time left. So we've seen this a lot with LaFleur. LaFleur loves him some screens. He loves those screen passes, and we threw another screen to Corey Davis, who ended up not getting anything or maybe picked up a yard. So we had to punt with Brett Kern. They get that big return to tie the game up and send it to overtime. So I don't know. That's something I was kind of disappointed in, and at the time I was like, man, this could be bad now. All we needed was 2 yards to pick up a first down, and in a game where we've seen a plethora of screenplays and short passes, we do another one right there in that instance. So I don't know. What did you think? I do know
the possession you're talking about. I remember the Eagles. I thought they obviously came away with the winner from that possession because they still maintained, I believe, all 3 of their timeouts, or at least 2 of their timeouts, and got the ball back.
I think they had at least 2.
And then got the big punt return. Yeah, it was looking doubtful for Titans fans there for a second.
Yeah.
There was actually plenty of 3rd downs, especially 3rd and longs, a few times where we threw it short of the markers and tried to run some kind of screen to Taiwan or some kind of play where we could get some blockers out in front of our receiver when he caught the ball short. Action. Okay, just took a little break, grabbed another brew. Sorry, we're just over here celebrating this great win, you know.
Yeah. So back to that play, what you saw, that screen pass.
Yeah,
what of it?
The screen pass. Yeah, we did look a little hesitant on that play, but on that possession where we could have sealed the deal. But honestly, I think we would have had to get 2 first downs since they were retaining all of their timeouts, which is a lofty task against that Eagles D. And honestly, I had faith in our defense all game. It was definitely a bend but don't break mentality. But I agree with you that I thought we were a little too conservative there. But then Vrabel and LaFleur totally made up for it on that final drive, going for it on the 4th and 2 when they could have gone for the long field goal to tie the game and possibly end in a tie.
How about that decision? Because I think it would have been like a 49, 50-yard field goal by Suckup. And, I mean, I feel like the game would have ended in a tie had he made that. But no. What was it, 4th and 2? Yeah, LaFleur, or Vrabel makes the call. He goes for it, man.
Even after having Suckup out on the field, ready to kick it, he pulls him off and puts the offense back on it.
Man, what a gutsy call. He's aggressive. He's playing to win it.
I liked it. I think in his mind, against an NFC opponent, the defending Super Bowl champions, based on the time and the situation, he didn't want to play for a tie. He knew he probably could have gotten the field goal. Eagles would have gotten the ball back with, under 40 seconds left, no timeouts. Chances are the game would have ended in a tie. I think he's kind of being a linebacker, playing linebacker in the NFL, he doesn't want football games to end in a tie. Come on. Whoever wants an NFL game to end in a tie?
I would rather tie than lose.
Yeah,
screw that. I know a lot of people say I'd rather lose than tie. Like, no, you don't. What are you talking about? Ties are better than losing.
End of the day in the standings, especially when it comes down to who squeaks into the playoffs with tiebreakers. But overall, I think what he preaches to his team and going for it on that 4th and 2, having the trust in his guys to get it done, I think it was the right call, and I loved it.
You're preaching a mentality.
Yeah, and I think at that point,
even if it costs you a win.
Even as a fan at that point, with all that had happened, I'm like, if we don't get this, I'm kind of still going to be happy with this outcome based on what we've shown today, how we've played, the obstacles we've overcome. I was still kind of going to walk away from this game being uplifted, shall I say.
Yes. You shall. But you would be correct.
Then we went on to win in astounding fashion, and then now I'm just speechless. I'm beyond.
Now it's one of the greatest Titans wins in the regular season of all time.
Yeah,
and now here we are.
When people talk about enacting heaven on earth, I grew up in the Bible Belt, so I know what that means. I believe that it was shown no better than Mariota to Davis on that final play. That was a slice of heaven here on earth. It was beautiful.
That was like that football grew in angel's wings and it just floated right towards Davis's hands.
Honestly, the one play that could have cost us the game was the one right before that on 2nd down where Mariota throws it to Davis on a little slant route, well short of the goal line. If he had caught it, it would have been tackled, and we would have either had to rush the field goal unit out, which the announcers were talking, it takes about 15 to 17 seconds to get the unit out there. We didn't have any timeouts, and we would not have been able to spike the ball.
I thought it was the 2nd down.
Oh, maybe we could have spiked the ball, but still, I didn't understand that. Yeah. Either read by Mariota or play call by LaFleur.
Maybe Davis was out there playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Maybe he dropped the ball on purpose. He knew the situation.
Maybe. But I was so glad when he dropped that ball because I just did not think that was going to help us at all. But that's kind of a minor point in the victory. In fact, it doesn't. Since we won, it doesn't even. No one's even going to remember that play except for me.
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't have brought it up. But I was like, if he had caught that ball, we would have been in a different situation there. It
just shows you the different little quirky things that happen throughout the course of a game that can completely change an outcome.
That's the NFL. They say it's a game of inches. Yeah. It's almost like a game of just quirky moments that, if that had been different, it could have changed the whole outcome of the game. Or if that had happened a little differently.
So we've talked a lot about the offense, obviously. Anything should we say about the defensive performance? I thought we gave up a lot of yards. Carson Wentz threw more yards than Mariota did by 4 or 5 or something like that. They were getting a lot of yards. They were still running the ball well against us. I would like to see our run defense kind of to turn it around a little bit more. We're still looking for a strong game from the run defense. But overall, it was one of those bend but don't break kind of games where, the Eagles marched a lot. on several different drives down the field. They scored 2 touchdowns, but when we needed the defense to make a stop and to force a field goal attempt, they got it done. And, I thought the pass rush was good at times. We sacked Carson Wentz 4 times. Huge shout-out to Harold Landry getting his first NFL strip sack. That ended up
strip sack Landry. That's what they're going to say now. No more strip sack Miller. Strip sack Landry.
Yeah, he's old news. Miller's old news. That turned into 3 crucial points for us. Just big time. I'm loving the pass rush. Also, rookie Sharif Finch gets a sack. So good for him. Jayon Brown and Malcolm Butler with a sack. Surprisingly, I'm liking these like corner blitzes by Dean Pease. Logan Ryan had a sack against the Texans a couple weeks ago. He blitzes Malcolm Butler in this game, and they're effective for getting the quarterback on the ground, bro.
Dude, yeah, that was going to be the first thing I actually said when you tossed it to me. I was going to praise Dean Pease for drawing up these exotic ways to get pressure on the quarterback outside of just your defensive line. I mean, yeah, look at the guys who got sacks today. I know you mentioned that Logan Ryan a week ago, but yeah, Malcolm Butler getting in the sack category. Jayon Brown, I thought Jayon Brown had a great game today overall. He was constantly just around the ball, defending receivers, and then even getting pressure on quarterbacks. I thought he was in on a lot of big plays, so props to Jayon Brown. Sharif Finch getting a sack, and then Harold Landry, man, that guy is starting to remind me of a young Von Miller. Dare we say we have the next elite edge pass rusher on our team in Harold Landry? Because
I would like to say so,
since he's been playing, he has been a wrecking force. I know he hasn't been putting up the numbers as Von Miller or Khalil Mack, but the pressure he's causing, I think I said a week ago, he's going to become Jarrell Casey's best friend because he's directly feeding Jarrell Casey sacks and tackles for loss. And I think his play is going to continue to just get better and better as he gets more.
He's so fast on the edge. Go back and watch that strip sack if you haven't. Like, he blows by the tackle there. He's just so quick. And a lot of people talk about his bend, the way he can bend his body and just like get a crazy angle to wrap around and beat the tackle on the edge to get to the quarterback. He crushed Wentz. He crushed him, and it was great. I mean, hit. So he's got all the tools, to be an elite pass rusher.
He crushed him right across the face. Thank God they didn't call a penalty on that, but it's kind of a bang play. But I'll take the strip sack as a Titans fan. But yeah, Harold Landry, incredible again. But yeah, credit to Dean Pease for drawing up ways to get pressure on the quarterback when our front four are really kind of getting stifled. So yeah, I like to see that because I think there's going to be some games where he'll probably rely on just those front four to get pressure. And I think later in the season, we'll see them still with some gas to be able to do that since we've been drawing up these exotic blitzes. Liv.
Yeah, dude. So it's been a good day. It's been a good day, Titans fans. I mean, we're 3-1. We're 3-1.
When are we going to get some respect?
Raise your hand if you gave up on the Titans after the loss to Miami. And I know a lot of you are lying right now because there were a lot of fans giving up on this team already. Like, shame on you. Shame.
Yeah, how many tweets did I see after Delaney Walker went down being like, oh, great, well, just go ahead and mark us down at 0-4 to start the year. Yeah, right. 3-1, baby, on a 3-game winning streak over 2 division opponents and the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, and the Eagles are 2-2 right now, but they're good. They're good still. They're gonna start winning games, a lot of games again this year. I think they're gonna win their division. They're gonna win the East, NFC East. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I mean Dallas and New York.
I mean, there are a couple teams in there aren't that good, but I think the Eagles are a good team. So I mean, yeah, we're winning against good teams. Beat Jacksonville last week. We're winning all of these games by 3 points. So this team is really good in close games as of late, which is big. It's big time.
I believe now
good in the clutch moments.
I believe now with that final drive, Mariota now takes the lead for most game-winning touchdown drives in the NFL since 2017 as a quarterback. He was tied with Case Keenum. So if Case Keenum can do it tomorrow night in Denver against Chiefs, then they'll be tied again. But I believe Marcus just passed him on that one. And honestly, Marcus he led basically 2 game-winning drives, the one in the fourth quarter and then overtime. So he should really get credit for that, at least 1.5 for those.
Definitely give him 1.5.
Yeah, but what do you have to say? I think we've talked about offensive defense. Let's talk about Mariota on the game and that final drive, especially in the second half.
Guys, just be glad that we have Marcus Mariota as a franchise quarterback. And is this the game where finally, like, all of the haters can shut up about him? Because I feel like they're always there. Even if Mariota puts up a bad game or a bad throw, like, they're going to come back out and start questioning him and want to maybe get a quarterback in the draft or something, or not sign him to his extension or whatever. Like, dude, no. Like, you saw the man. This man is a winner. He's a leader. He's not passive. Eric Decker. Good grief.
Yeah. We saw Mariota on an early 3rd and 1 when he converted on a run get right in Malcolm Jenkins' face. I believe it was Malcolm Jenkins. And I was like,
does he talk trash?
I don't know, man.
That's awesome.
He was lit, though. That bro was lit. I don't say that. I don't throw that word around lightly either. So, whatever, man.
But yeah, dude, one of the best games I've seen from Mariota. I mean, he's our quarterback, man. And we should be very grateful and fortunate to have this guy on our team. And hopefully he can just, start being consistent, because I hate seeing those 30 seconds before halftime interceptions in your own side of the field. Like, yeah, I wish he would clean that stuff up, but if he's just setting us up for a comeback win. He's trying to get those comeback win numbers up at the fourth quarter. That's probably what's going on.
I don't blame him, man. I mean, especially now that he's gotten the lead in that, he needs to hold on to it. So I'm cool with that. But I kind of feel like he embodies what this whole team is about. It may not look pretty always. There may be a few errors or mental mistakes, the bend but don't break mentality our defense has. But you can't measure the heart of what Mariota does. He's a winner, and that shows in those 11 game-winning drives since 2017, most in the NFL for a quarterback. We saw it in the Kansas City game last year in the playoffs. We're seeing it this year again and again. Jacksonville game, this game. The guy just does what he needs to get it done, whether that's with his legs or with his arm or something else. He's making the plays to win the games. Almost kind of reminiscent to me. I know a lot of people compare him to Steve McNair, and how he plays through some injuries and gets the job done. It's kind of reminiscent of Vince Young to me. I know Vince Young isn't looked on extremely fondly by Titans fans, but that guy, he was a winner. He won games, and he won them unconventionally. He didn't just win them as the conventional NFL quarterback always did. When it came down to nitty-gritty situations, he
definitely had that clutch gene.
And that kind of, I see that in Mariota, and that's something where it's like, man, it kind of reminds me of Vince Young and some of those clutch games he used to win. Just getting the job done no matter what it takes. Legs, arms, feet, hand, head, ears.
We were talking about it before we started recording, but I was thinking about when was the last time, I can't even remember the last time, that the Titans had a walk-off game-winning touchdown. And you immediately called me out on it. It was the Cardinals game. Vince Young to Kenny Britt in the back of the end zone. Which was an extremely exciting game in itself. Vince Young, he did that a few times for us throughout his career. So, I can see the comparison there.
Channeling some of that magic of the past Titans quarterbacks, Steve McNair and Vince Young, and putting them to good use. I think Mariota's a much better passer and overall just pocket quarterback than Vince Young was. I mean,
and probably has a better head on his shoulders. He's a mature guy, and he studies the playbook.
Even on that final drive, and the Fox announcers mentioned this. I don't know who was calling the game, but they were even surprised at how little Mariota was using his legs to even shorten the yardage, the first down yardage on early downs, or to move the ball on that last overtime drive. They were like, I'm surprised that Mariota's not trying to run more on early downs to shorten those third downs and fourth downs.
Man's trying to pass the ball. He's a passer.
A pocket passer, and he's getting the job done. If only his receivers can catch it.
It's only in his fourth year. I wish national pundits would start taking notice and realize that. This man's a passing quarterback who also has great speed if he needs to use his
they
legs.
Were saying that
It's been like that since he got in the NFL.
They were pointing that out, but then he converted 2 first downs just with his arm, and then that huge 3rd and 19, he takes off and runs, almost gets us in field goal range, almost gets us the first down, ends up getting us the first down on the next play to Dion Lewis. But yeah, the guy is extremely smart, knows when to use his legs. He doesn't just rely on his speed and his athleticism to try and win games. He's going to win games the conventional way by outsmarting the defense and making the right reads. But if he needs to use his legs, he will. And I think that's, you can't coach that. That works here a little better.
No, can't coach those instincts. Yeah, it works there a little better. That analogy.
I want to give another shout out. I know I was talking about Jayon Brown, how well he played, but Jayon Brown, Rashaan Evans, all of our linebackers, especially after our leader Woodyard went out. I know Zach
had some injuries this
Zach
game.
Ertz
So looking forward to seeing
what game, and they had a good running game, but the bend but don't break mentality. It could have been really bad when Woodyard went down, but filling in with a rookie, and then a second-year player, and then you got Harold Landry. Our linebacking core was Will Compton.
Will Compton, he made a big-time pass breakup late in the game.
And I think that's another thing Vrabel's instilling across the board, offense and defense, is the next man up mentality. We praise the Eagles for having that in our preview episode. I think this Titans team is embracing it more than I've ever seen a Titans team embrace it before. With injuries to Delaney, if only Jonnu could get on board this whole next man up mentality. But overall, we're having to work with guys. Rashard Matthews quitting on us this year, but we're not afraid to throw the ball deep to Darius Jennings.
He missed out on a great day to be a wide receiver 1, which he apparently thinks of himself. Corey Davis getting all 160 of those yards.
Thank you. Yeah, Corey Davis needs to thank his big game to Rashard Matthews for giving him all those targets that he was getting. I'm just kidding. He wasn't getting any targets. But yeah, I just think, especially on defense, this team's embracing a next man up mentality. They dealt with some injuries today, and they're still just getting in there and giving their heart. Sharif Finch, what is he doing? He probably did not expect his name to get called today, and he had a huge sack on a well-designed blitz. Yeah. So, I'm just loving this team from top to bottom. We still got – and it's great that we're getting these wins, and I can still see ways that we can improve. Take away those drop passes, get our receivers a little more chemistry with Mariota so we're not missing on those big plays like we saw early in the game. And we can be a deadly team moving forward if we clean up some of those areas. So
we can.
It's great that we're getting the wins now, but I'm like, man, we can even be better than what we're showing.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed. 3-1, still on top of the division with Jacksonville, and we got to play Buffalo next week. That's a winnable game. We'll see where we go, man. Maybe we can clean up some things, get a little bit better and better as the season goes on. But man, I'm riding high. I'm riding high right now.
No reason not to.
I'm gonna be watching highlights on repeat for a long time tonight.
If you don't have the Titans highlights of this game on repeat for the next 24 hours, then are you really a Titans fan? So, Justin, what do you think? Are we going to get some national media coverage from this game finally? What do you say?
I mean, a little bit, but I'm not expecting a lot. No, not a lot. I mean, they'll probably be like, "Oh, Titans! Hey, they're off to a hot start. Took down the Eagles in overtime." Could they be for real? I mean,
we probably in the last 2 weeks we've beaten probably 2 of the top 4 teams in any power rankings I've ever seen across the board, and I feel like that warrants a little national media, props. But
we'll get a little, but I mean, I feel like for the most part, we're still going to get a little. Either not disrespected necessarily, but maybe not just talked about.
They'll be like, "Oh, Eagles gave this game away."
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the storyline. Eagles choked away their lead in overtime and allowed the Titans. Well, what's wrong with the Eagles' defense? Is elite defense regressing? They gave up 3 fourth down conversions. Yada yada. And no, it's because Mariota is a great player and he makes great passes.
Speaking of clutch teams and the Eagles' defense not being clutch, we outscored Philadelphia in the fourth quarter and overtime, 16-6. I think that's huge, including that walk-off touchdown to Corey Davis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's big. Beautiful. Started the game strong, finished it even stronger.
Well, we were down 3-10 at halftime. But it was a good start.
We were moving the ball very well.
Yeah. It's not. We weren't like, it didn't come out dead in the water. I mean, it looked like from the first quarter that this team came to play, and this was going to be a competitive game, even though we only put up 3 points.
Yeah, we looked like we belonged on the field with this team, and dare I say they're even better than who the Eagles were, who won the Super Bowl. Now that they got Michael Bennett and Carson Wentz back,
you think so?
I mean, yeah, and Jay Ajayi.
Once they get fully healthy, too, I mean, Alshon Jeffrey, this was his first game of the year after coming off an injury, and he put up 100 yards and a touchdown. Yeah,
he was destroying Malcolm Butler on several cases. I know we were dealing with some injuries because at one point I think we had Kendrick Lewis, Dane Cruikshank, and LaShawn Sims covering Alshon Jeffrey on that touchdown. And I'm like, I would take Alshon Jeffrey in that situation too. But like you said, defense, bend but don't break. They gave up some plays, but they made some plays.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but we need to get healthier, man. I hope these injuries to Woodyard, Vaccaro, who else? I
know Logan Ryan got banged up towards the end of the game. I think Adoree Jackson was just dealing with cramps, but I don't know. I've not heard anything on Logan Ryan, so we'll need to check that.
Hopefully they don't miss any significant time. But yeah, man, what a game, man! One of the best in recent memory.
Closing thoughts, Justin. Let's wrap this up.
Oh, I feel like that this whole last segment has kind of been closing thoughts about, just being so proud
Titans,
proud of our team. Next man up. It's crazy, this next man up mindset. Working through all these injuries, and yet we're still finding ways to win games. This coach, Mike Vrabel, is 100% coach of the year candidate through the first month.
I don't see how you could vote anywhere else.
Not even close.
He's definitely the front runner. I was also going to preach on, Paul Kaharski was making light of the phrase "for the boys," but I think I saw it today. You were talking about how dejected you were after that Darius Jennings drop in overtime, and I think Titans teams of past probably would have felt that way, and it probably would have affected their play negatively to where we would have lost that game. But Corey Davis, Taywan Taylor, they got Darius Jennings back. He's one of the boys, so Taywan Taylor is going to go make a clutch 4th and 15 play. Nick Williams is going to come in, draw defensive pass interference, get another first down conversion on the 4th down, and then Corey Davis is going to finish it out. So I think that is the meaning of for the boys. Yeah, Rashard Matthews isn't for the boys anymore. PK, okay? He's not in the locker room. Stop asking about him. Move on from him.
But these players we have now are
showed
for the
it
boys
today. Yeah, some of them made mistakes, but the other guys are picking up their slack when they can and expecting. I'm going to expect Darius Jennings and Johnny Smith to get their backs in games in the future. If Davis drops the ball. I want to see Darius Jennings make a play.
I'm expecting Jennings to come back with a huge long reception sometime during the season, during a game where Davis may not be himself and maybe dropping passes. So get each other's backs, guys. That's the name of the game.
Cheers. I think that'll wrap it up. Unless you got anything else to say, Justin, are your headphones okay? I said, I think that's going to wrap it up. Unless you got anything left to say, are your headphones okay?
No, that's it. I need to calm down. I need to calm my nerves. Man, just excited for this team. Happy for Vrabel. Happy for this fan base. And not happy for all those losers that already gave up on the Titans. All the haters. Stay hating.
All the haters.
Hate on us. I don't care. Don't jump on the bandwagon whenever we make our run.
I don't mind it, man. Let them jump on the bandwagon. If we're making a run to the Super Bowl, I'll take all the Titans fans we can get, yo. We've never had them, so.
Okay, fair enough.
As long as they're not Colts fans. Actually, I would convert all the Colts fans to Titans fans. Let's just convert all Colts fans to Titans fans. And then.
That's very open-minded of you. What about Jacksonville fans?
Burn them. Burn them all.
Well,
like Shireen at the stake.
Burn them all.
Okay. that'll wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know your thoughts on the game. We probably missed a few, key things that we should have talked about, but we're just so overly excited. I don't think I've been excited this much in years. Well, actually, since that Kansas City game last year. Yeah, you're right.
The Kansas City.
I take that back.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota
Can't forget about that
has given me
this is
great highlights of my life the last 4 years. So thank you, Marcus. The GOAT. This pineapple is for him.
Yes, he has.
This wooden pineapple I have
we are
on my desk
so
is finally paying off. Thank you, Marcus Mariota. All right.
That's right. All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to do
Let's go celebrate this win.
So sweet. Yeah, let us know what you guys think about the game. Please tell us how excited you are. And let's get ready to go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Man, if we do that, if we start out 4-1,
especially
hype train. I don't know when the last time we were even 4-1.
Especially because most Titans fans will kind of consider that Miami game as a fluke with the circumstances and then the poor, or should I say horrible refereeing.
Who got crushed. Yeah, and then they got crushed by the Patriots today. So maybe they're...
Yeah, so we almost could have been 5-0, but 3-1, I'll take it. All right.
Oh, 3-1. It's so good. So beautiful.
Titans 2018-19 Super Bowl champs coming at you.